Thank you so much, guys. It's a great opportunity to speak in front of this community of leaders. I know, having a platform company speak just after a session where someone told you how to evaluate tech tools, seems like a collusion, but I assure you nothing like that. I've never met Navin before in my life. So there might be a few things we might agree upon. There might be a few things on how we work upon or how we differ upon. Amongst all the leaders that we've talked today, I think we are a pure platform company, and that is why I think you might find this perspective of us slightly interesting as well on how we go about solving problems in the industry, right? Being a platform company, our first step is always to find real impactful problems to solve. And how we think about each problem or building a platform is three-dimensional. The first thing is, how can we ensure the platform that we're building covers the end-to-end problem, right? Navin was right in a sense saying that you should always choose the best-in-class platforms and integrate all of them together, right? But it's not as easy as as it seems, right? I'm sure all of you guys know this. Apart from the lot of technical challenges that you have in terms of integrating, there are always a lot of cost synergies that come in when it is a one end-to-end platform, right? And that is the reason we've always tried to build turnkey platforms, end-to-end platforms, total platforms, because that will eventually generate a lot of synergies for our customers and thereby add more value. The second dimension we think about is being an automation platform. We really want to get to a stage where we automate 100% of the redundant tasks that are currently being done by a human, right? And the third dimension, like a lot of us now are looking at, is what can we bring to you? What are the predictive stuff that we can bring to you? What are something that are there ready by the morning, you start your work, right? So these are the three dimensions that we think when we go about a problem. And today I'm going to talk about a problem that we started working on in 2019. That's the talent supply chain crisis, right? So let's look at what exactly does it mean. What were the gaps when we started looking at this supply chain crisis that we found out, slightly delve deeper into each of those problems, and what is the solution at least we believe we've come up with for this problem. As you know, right, so pandemic has really kind of explosive, or I don't know what the word, but some people are hurtling, some people are scrambling, but the pace of transformation is mind-boggling. A lot of metrics, you guys work in the space, so you know about all this more than me. And the biggest problems we figured out at that point of time was, the first one, definitely controlling labor costs, which is what a lot of the experts talk today, be it because of the attrition, be it because of the skill gap that we already have. The labor costs were continuously increasing, and there was no way individual HR team or a procurement team could control it without visibility over what was happening in the overall supply chain. The second problem that we realized was there was a lot of silos in between multiple departments, be it finance, be it procurement, be it HR, because of a lack of an integrated platform across these departments, right? So what exactly are those problems, right? Lack of visibility restricts your ability to react to workforce challenges. Every department has its own priorities, every department has its own business goals, not necessarily they are aligned, and that is where you lose a lot of synergies. And especially for the HR team, there was no visibility into how the procurement was kind of managing the suppliers, what was their performance, what was their spend, and what should be the optimal mix of talent, more importantly, right? How many permanent workers, how many temporary workers, which of the temporary workers who are going out can again be hired back, right? This was the gap that was predominant across this interdepartmental verticals in any large organization. And the last one, I think, Navin touched upon it briefly as well, is These are today's talent options. You have a SOW consultant, you have a university grad, you have a job board guy who's looking out for a job, you have some employee referrals. And I'm very sure these are such disparate channels of sourcing, but I'm very sure no matter how much of a unified platform you bring in, you do not have a single database to collect all this in real time and also tag and categorize them, which was the biggest problem that we felt we need to solve. The lack of an organized and consolidated talent database, right? Disparate channels of sourcing candidates, there is no way all of them are integrated into one single database, and it wasn't a priority as well at that point of time. Which again brings us to the biggest problem right now a lot of us face is heavy reliance on job boards. Because there is not enough confidence on the database that we already have and are continuing to build, every recruiter tries to rely a lot on job boards because they believe their database is better than what we've built. And the last one is lack of ready-made talent pools. Because the data that you have in your database, you do not have the confidence that it is categorized right, you have built right talent personas, you do not have ready-made talent pools. So every time a job comes, you again do the same task of searching for the candidate, trying to talk to him, submitting him to a pipeline, scheduling an interview, right? I think these are the major three problems that we thought were not really unsolvable, but somehow were still plaguing the supply chain. So what did we do? We said, let's look at a system where everything happens on a unified platform as part of a unified program, and that would be the future of the complete talent acquisition part of a organization's life cycle. When we were thinking about this idea in 2019, when we ran a survey with our prospective customers, they said right now building these processes is a priority, total talent management process. Adopting technology maybe is a second or a third priority. But like you said, like we saw during the pandemic, everything kind of hurtled at rapid pace. Now we see a lot of our customers, Fortune 500 customers who are using this total talent management platforms are, have reached huge benefits, have seen a huge savings, have seen a lot of better control of pipeline compared to people who've still not explored how to get everything onto one platform. Let's look at what is it that we're talking about here. Like I said, right, whatever we're trying to do, we're trying to basically get everything into one single platform, integrated technology stacks to at least cover one complete business cycle, right? And that's what we did with our total talent management situation. That was the silos, the biggest silos that we thought, the HR team and the procurement team. The procurement was always focused on purchasing contingent workers, while HR was focused on, permanent workers. The solution was with this total talent management solution, which is a seamless integration between your, recruitment platform or ATS and a vendor management system, where the data flows two ways and there's a 100% sync between those two. All multi-departmental stakeholders are now on a unified talent management program through a seamless integration between ATS and VMS primarily. On top of that, you can also have your HRMS or a freelancer management or a campus hiring solution, everything coming into one single platform. Now, how does that help, right? It all looks like, oh, this is good, everything you have at one platform. But really, if we look into real life use cases of what we've done with this, few of them, without going into too much detail, the biggest advantage a lot of these customers of us got was they now had access to the data which gave them what their talent mix was. How many of those were permanent employees, how many contracted employees, what was their cost, what was their performance, and give them an opportunity to optimize their talent mix, right? Currently, I'm very sure a lot of the organizations do not have an idea what should be their optimal talent mix because they don't track those data. But I think with this total talent management platform, you will be enabled or empowered to look at what should be your future optimal talent mix. We've cut down the time to hire for niche skills, by a certain amount because now you have even the supplier data, all your talent sources coming into one single database, which opens up a lot more array of talent. Supplier spend optimization, not just the procurement team, now the HR teams also have clear idea about how to optimize supplier spend, thereby controlling the overall labor costs. One of the biggest advantages that we found, especially with one of the Fortune 500 clients that we were working was, they said, when we were implementing the solution, they had around 300, 400 active suppliers. But when we actually implemented the solution, they realized they had 1,200 suppliers who are ready to pay to be their suppliers. And once they used this platform, all of them became very engaged, very active suppliers who were definitely reaping the benefits of being part of the program, right? So that is the kind of, streamlining that happened in their supplier program. And definitely with the VMS data also coming into now your single talent container, the biggest advantages that we saw was you are now able to build ready-made talent pools, keep them engaged. Whenever there is a job, you know where to dip in. You have control over your talent pipeline. We've seen customers building, increasing their talent databases by 10 times more than what they were doing before. And that automatically kind of reduces your reliance on any other job boards for which you are paying crores of rupees. And close repetitive jobs, right? This job is going to come. You have people, you have talent pools ready, and you don't even need to go to your suppliers. Your internal recruiters can close it within a matter of minutes and move on, and that too cost efficiently. So few advantages that we've seen, and these are all use cases from our customers. And now, we talk about what is the talent container that we have built or we're trying to build. You have your employees and contractors, referrals, career portal, everything coming into it. You have your existing staff coming into the talent pool. You have your supplier candidates also coming into your talent pool, which will eventually become your own database. On top of that, we've also built a technology which can give you the passive candidates that are present out there in the public domain, right? Along with some validation. That means these guys are not actively looking for jobs, but they might given the right opportunity. And this is your centralized talent pool, where on top of this, what we've done a couple of automations, put in some kind of intelligence and put in some kind of RPA on top of it. And this is what we kind of came to. On top of the talent container, we put a AI search and match, which basically sorts candidates by skills, review the most viable contenders first. This, you must have seen it in a lot of other platforms. What we also do here is not just matching them on their skills, we also build talent personas where we match their geocodes, we match their management skills, we match their behavioral assessment, ensuring it is not just skill-based search and match, but it is also a persona-based search and match. And the biggest advantage that we've seen for this feature is you can automate these high volume activities, right? Like Naveen said, you should look for tools which bring these things to you, right? And these are the features now when the recruiter is sitting in the office, he has a set of 10, 15 candidates that he has to talk to, doesn't have to go and do the whole process again. On top of this AI matching, the next step we did was adding the RPA layer. So this is a use case of how the AI and RPA works. You get a job request, goes into your talent container, the AI search and rank matches it, gets you the most relevant candidates. Now the RPA takes over, where it reaches out to the relevant candidates, gets their details, fills some pre-screening questionnaires, and by the time your recruiter is in office, he has this 5-6 guys willing with their basic details that he now has to do the human interaction with, right? And that was the problem that we wanted to really solve, get the recruiters doing things that they really were made to do, not your mundane tasks. And this is obviously something that happens on a day-to-day basis, but what we also did in terms of future-proofing things, tomorrow a pandemic might come in, a recession might come in, but how do you future-proof yourself with the help of these talent containers? Like the guy before me said, people analytics, agreed, we need more and more data, but the sooner you start, the sooner you build in more intelligence. Candidate engagement, we've automated the complete candidate engagement where your recruiter doesn't have to send those repetitive emails, regular updates and everything. Those are all can be, automated. We've built talent communities, like I said, for niche skills as well as repetitive jobs. On top of that, passive candidate sourcing. This is a, game-changing kind of a, innovation, because now this will increase your available pool of talent by around 70%. Right? The active job seekers might make up only 20% of the universe. Rest of the 60-70% are these passive job seekers who you will not find anywhere in job boards or career portals, but only in public domains. Right? With these kind of features and building a talent container, you are now, at least you make yourself future-proof against any kind of spiraling labor costs, any kind of skill shortages, and you are ready to kind of face these situations. So that's what we built. We're hoping our team is here. We are open for conversations to see if we can help any of you business leaders achieve your business goals. That's what we want. But thank you so much, guys, for giving this opportunity. This was great.